Hey guys, B-Man here. Welcome to today's video. Today we've got an awesome one for you guys. What we have is my guidance for how you should progress through this game. What descendant you should choose as the first one and why, and what other ones you should choose after that, and when you should choose a new descendant, what you should go on to and why. So with that said, if this helps anybody out, help me out. Smash that like button for me. Subscribe if you're not already. Leave me an awesome comment, and hey, if you guys got any tips and trips, leave them down in the comment section for all those new people to be able to read and get extra tips. It's helpful and we appreciate it. With that said guys, I'm going to start straight out. Now my ranking system is pretty much my preset here. So as you'll see here, you should be starting out. When you start out, you get the few descendants that you can pick as your starter. I highly suggest that you pick Lepic, okay? Now, it's up to you guys if you want to pick something different. Go for it, okay? This is just the guidance for how I played through, and if anybody wants my guides and stuff from my playthrough, well, this will suit you well. And the reason why I've done this is because Lepic is going to be a really good bossing descendant without the need to have to invest into any guns. So for that reason, at the start of the game, you don't have any guns built up. Lepic's going to be your best descendant for killing bosses, okay? So you can obtain him free at the very start. So that's why I say obtain Lepic. Then you start doing out some of the campaign, and soon in the campaign, you'll get the ability to unlock Bunny. Your very next thing you do is unlock Bunny. Then, after you've unlocked Bunny, you will be able to level up Bunny and use Bunny to get through the campaign and stuff like that. Then, Bunny will become your main descendant for doing all of your missions, farming, and things like that. And Lepic will be the one that you will use for killing the bosses and the intercept bosses, okay? So that's how you will do it. And right through the first campaign, you will just use these two descendants and get right through to grind the campaign. Once you've gotten through the campaign, you will, while going through the campaign, you will get 2 energy activators. I highly suggest that you use them in both of these. You will use an energy activator in Bunny, and you will use an energy activator in Lepic. Then, after you've done that, when you're into hard mode, you will defeat the hard mode executioner with Lepic, and then you'll get a crystallization catalyst, which you'll be able to use in Lepic to be able to boost them up to be able to take out the other 4 hard bosses. Now, with that said, you will now have enough to be able to go out and grind the game. With just 1 energy activator into Bunny and no catalyst, Bunny can take on any mission to be able to grind out amorphous materials and things that you need. And then Lepic will be powerful enough with just 1 activator and a catalyst. He will be grunty enough to be able to take out the bosses without needing any grunty weapon. Now, from this point, you can now farm the hard mode bosses. What you will need is, as soon as you get through the campaign and you get to the hard mode, the first thing that you will want to do is you will want to go to your map, and then you'll want to press in the right click for me. So I come to my map, right click, and you come to your map for your different reactors, right? So for Lepic, because you will be Lepic, you will want to come to here and you will want to select fire, and then you will want to select tech. Then for us for this rotation, it's on a weekly rotation and it will be different ones available. For me right now, it's a special rounds tech. So we would come here and we would grind the reactor. So if you're trying to get the reactor for Bunny and for Lepic, you will just do that at this point because you would want to go along and farm your perfect reactor. For any build, the reactor is number one, the heart, and one of the most important things that make and break any build that is doing damage with skills and lots of other things too. But especially for Lepic, the most important thing will be the reactor. So go along and farm yourself up a reactor, and for Lepic, the first thing that you'll want to do is minimal have a reactor that's purple and has like skill critical damage and damage versus Colossus, like this one right here would be a really good one to get. And then even better is to be able to get it in gold and have a gold golden gun. But that at that point, that's getting a bit later on when you start having weapons. But at the very start, all you want is a purple one, and you want to be going for the skill critical hit damage, damage against Colossus, fire skill, and tech skill for Lepic, okay? And then from that point, you are at this point right here. So after that point, you can now go on to your next descendant, which I would suggest you go for Sharen, because Sharen you'll be able to use to help get your other energy activators and other things as well while you're doing your her when she does invisible with her whatever, I can't think what the name of the thing is, the circle things that she does where she goes invisible and takes over the things. Well, you've got Sharen for that. Then what you have is, while you're grinding Sharen and doing that, you're also doing up your gun. Now, the gun that you need to go for is the Enduring Legacy, okay? So that is why you first want these two descendants for all of the grinding. These two descendants you will be able to use to farm up Sharen stuff and farm up to get Enduring Legacy. And you will not need any good guns for this. You'll just be able to use a basic tamer to do all of that work. So you need to have these first to be able to obtain these items, right? So while you're obtaining this and doing this up, at the same time, you might as well get Sharen, because it'll make your life easier later on for your farming. But you don't need Sharen. That's just an extra thing. At this point, you're just getting extra things to get gruntier. These two are pretty much, you'll be able to do all the solo bosses with these two descendants and get right through. At this point, you're preparing yourself for later on in the game. So you will want Sharen for the more grinding. She's the next one you will want to work on while you're getting Enduring Legacy built up. Once you've got Enduring Legacy built up, you're going to want to shift to a descendant that helps, that's primary for a weapon, right? So that's where you will, next one that you will go to would be Valby. The reason for this is Valby has a Transcendent mod that you can use that buffs up this quite heavily, right? So if we go into Valby and we go in, I'll show you, this Transcendent mod right here gives us a lot of crit rate and stuff like that for our weapon. So she does buff up our stuff. And the cool thing about Valby is this right here is not hard to obtain. So you can obtain this either by combining mods. So what you can do is you can be doing these two here. You can just use Lepic and farm out the Dead Bride to get heaps of Transcendent mods until you get, and then combine them until you get Valby's Transcendent mod, and at which point you can move on to using Valby, okay? So that's why you want to have these ones first, because you'll use him to try and grind up her Transcendent mod, and then you can get to her, right? Now that you've got Valby, and while you're building up this Enduring Legacy, because this will take you quite a long time to level this up and fully modify this gun up, so that's why you want to have these other ones first to be able to be using, to be able to do this very long grind, to be able to grind out 4 Enduring Legacies and do all the grind to get all the modules into it to make it a viable top-end weapon. Well, while you're doing that grind, you'll be doing Valby, and then you'll have a cool Valby to be able to take on. If you've got the ultimate Valby, then you'll be pretty much set to go on and take on Gluttony and everything, right? Then after that, the last descendant you want to work on is Enzo. Now, earlier the better. The reason he's the last is because his Transcendent mod is so hard to get. I've spent hours and hours and hours, and I myself have not got the Transcendent mod that you need for this. But once you get him, he will become the SS tier for the gun, right? But there's no point with doing all of this grind until after you've completed your Enduring Legacy and you've got the good gun for it, right? So this is why he's right down here. He's one of the best ones. At the end of all of your grind, he's probably the one that you're going to use the most, right? But you won't be using him until you've got a super good weapon. Now, during this grind for this campaign, you will get the opportunity to craft this, right? I would grind this out very early during your normal mode campaigns and get this to level 5 tiers like you see here, lots of it, and this will be your main next weapon for when you're doing all your missions and everything with Bunny, okay? And it's a very easy grind, so I would also grind that out while you're doing the campaign at this stage of these, okay? So that's how I would go about leveling everything up and everything, guys. And with that said, we'll quickly just go through these and you can quickly have a look at the setup that I've got for each of these. I don't know whether these are what you'll be end up running or whether this part will help you, but we'll just show you anyway. This is what we've got for this thing. This is what I'm running. This is my cool Lepic that I use at the moment, the in-game Lepic. Now again, you don't need ultimate Lepic. If you've seen any of my other videos, that's what you'll see for that. Now this is the bunny one you'll see. As you'll see, I'm still don't have any, at this point, I don't even have any catalysts or anything. I just use bunny like this. It's simple as, it's really cool. And the cool thing about this thing is when I have this, so that while this is active, every time this runs out, all I do is I tap this one, turn this on and turn this back off. And then that activates this buff. And then this is going, and then once it runs out, all I have to do is just turn this on, turn this back off, and activate this. So as soon as this runs out, I can instantly just reactivate this constantly, all the time with this build. It's pretty cool. So this is the build that I've just been using for this, and it's carried me through pretty much everything. You don't need this, but I've just added it in there because it's an extra little bit of power, and it's a cool build. So this is the build that we're running for this. Now you got sets and stuff to be able to help with this, but I just went for the health for Bunny because that's the best thing to carry you right through. And eventually you'll get your enduring legacies done up. Here's the build that I've got on. I've got 649 DPS at this build and it's not finished yet, but this is just where we're going with it. And obviously it'll be way higher when we're running Enzo. So we have Sharen. And all we use her for is the successful installs, and this is the build that I run for her. So pretty much all you want to do is you want to have your invisibility for as long as you can. So this gets me 17.6 seconds duration on the active camouflage. And then once I'm out, I have some HP and survivability while I'm destroying the mobs to destroy the last dude. To do it. And this has been working really well for me. No energy activator, no catalyst, nothing. Just a base Sharen is all that you need. And it's all I have needed this whole time. So you just use that for those things. And it helps you get your catalysts and your energy activators. Not your catalysts, just your activators pretty much. Now, for Valby, it's the same as Sharen. We've not got the ideal perfect builds for this one. I have got an activator in here. You probably won't even need an activator, but all I've got the build for Valby is at this stage was for the farming, for gold farming and Kupia farming on the Valby farms. But I'm now starting to investigate Valby for the gun build, so I've gone along and put an activator in here, and this is what I'm using so far for what I'm running for bossing, but I could probably improve this a lot. All I've done is increased health and some cooldowns and duration and extension. That's pretty much it for this, so that I'm standing on water more often to be able to get the buff for my gun, to be able to buff the gun. So that is the Valby build, and it could probably be a lot better, so don't take this as a build for Valby. And then you have your Enzo, and I've only just gone on to Enzo, so as you see it's quite the late end one, and I'm just moving on to Enzo now. And well, I don't have any of his Transcendent mods or anything, guys. That is how hard it is for me to obtain his Transcendent mods. We'll show you right here. I have all of these mods, but I have none of Enzo's. Not one of them. And I've gone along and spent 5 hours and used over 40 of those ultra precision code breakers, and I haven't gotten a single Transcendent mod for Enzo. And so that's how hard Enzo is to get the Transcendent mods for me, because it's hard enough to get the ultra precise encrypted vaults to even spawn, and then I think you've only got like a 1.2% chance to actually get the Transcendent mod to drop out of that itself, and you've got to grind up to get the keys to be able to open those vaults. So that's why he is right at the very end of your grind, and that's who you'll go to at the end. Even though you can get him early game if you want to have it so that you can get more out of your vaults, but using him for bossing and stuff, further off end game after you've done your enduring legacy and everything else. So that's where I'm at, guys, and that's my priority list. And where I'm at now is I'm still at this stage here with these two, and I am now building up enduring legacy, moving on playing with Valby with enduring legacy, and I'm trying, while at the same time I'm going in and I'm working on Enzo, and hopefully in a bit I'll have a fully leveled up, catalyzed up enduring legacy that I can run on an Enzo build, and then we can go through and have real fun. So with that said, that completes today's video, guys. That is everything I have to say about the orders of these and why. So if this helps you out, help me out. Smash that like button, keep being awesome, leave me an awesome comment, subscribe if you're new, and of course have an awesome day. Thank you guys for watching my videos. I'll catch you in the next one. B-Man out.